This list contains stories about a girl born with 4 legs, a boy whose eyes glow in complete darkness, a man who ate an entire airplane, and a woman with metal wires protruding from her body. Without a doubt, you're about to question everything you thought you knew about the human body. Number 100, the uncontrollable tissue growth. A man from Hunan, China, lived with one of the most severe neurofibromatosis cases ever recorded. The condition triggered uncontrolled nerve tissue growth, producing a tumor exceeding 50 pounds. It distorted his face, compressed his airway, and made eating and speaking a daily struggle. Multiple surgeries reduced the mass, but couldn't restore what was lost. This case remains one of the most remarkable in medical history. Number 99. The one-eyed newborn. In 2018, an Indonesian baby was delivered with a single eye positioned in the center of its forehead. The condition is called cyclopia. It occurs when the developing brain fails to divide into 2 hemispheres during early pregnancy. So rare that most medical students encounter it only in textbooks. The infant had no nasal cavity and survived only briefly after birth. Number 98. The half-monkey, half-man. Chandra Oraon was born in West Bengal, India, with a fully developed tail extending nearly 13 inches from his lower spine. Covered in hair and partially movable, it resulted from a rare condition where the caudal appendage fails to regress during fetal development. His community called him the incarnation of the Hindu god Hanuman. Chandra declined surgery, maintaining the tail as a statement on his identity. Number 97. The Green Children of Woolpit. In medieval Suffolk, England, 2 children emerged from a ditch, a brother and sister. They had bright green skin. They wore clothing made of unfamiliar materials. They spoke a completely unrecognizable language. They refused all normal human food, choosing only to eat raw, broad beans. Modern researchers suspect they may have suffered from hypochromic anemia caused by malnutrition. But to the medieval villagers, they seemed entirely otherworldly. Number 96. The runner without legs. Born without lower legs, Blake Leeper became an elite track star using prosthetic running blades. In 2018, he shattered the double amputee world record for the 400-meter dash. His time was 44.38 seconds. That speed matched elite, able-bodied Olympic athletes. He redefined modern sports biomechanics and proved limits exist only in the mind. Number 95. The archer. Without arms. Born without arms, Matt Stutzman learned to navigate life using his feet. He took up archery to feed his family. He invented a unique shooting style using his toes and jaw. Recently, Stutzman shattered a Guinness World Record by hitting a target from close to 300 meters away. He outperformed every able-bodied archer on Earth and won Paralympic gold. Number 94. The man who drew Rome from memory. Born in London in 1974, Stephen Wiltshire has savant syndrome. At age 3, he couldn't speak or communicate, but he could draw, and he could remember everything. Once, after a single helicopter ride over Rome, he drew the entire city's skyline from memory with photographic precision. He reproduced Tokyo, New York, and London the same way. His brain processes visual information differently than any known cognitive model. Number 93. The boy with the turtle shell. In rural Colombia, a boy named Didier was born with a congenital melanocytic nevus. An abnormally large birthmark expanded across most of his back. It thickened into a dark, raised mass resembling a turtle's shell. The condition caused discomfort and limited movement. Villagers believed it was a curse. British surgeon Neil Bulstrode performed surgery, removing the bulk of the nevus and giving Didier a new life. Number 92. The Real Rain Man. Kim Peek inspired the film Rain Man. He was even more remarkable. He memorized over 12,000 books completely. His brain lacked a corpus callosum. As a result, he developed unique neural pathways as compensation. He could read 2 pages simultaneously, one with each eye, and retain every word. But he couldn't complete basic tasks like dressing himself, a brilliant mind trapped in a dependent body. Number 91. China's Horned Woman. In her late 80s, Liang Shuzhen from Sichuan, China, noticed a small protrusion on her forehead. Over years, it extended outward, eventually reaching over 5 inches. It curved downward, shaped unmistakably like a horn. Dermatologists identified it as a cutaneous horn, a dense keratin accumulation built with the same protein-forming fingernails. Number 90. The man in the iron lung. Paul Alexander contracted polio at age 6 in 1952. Because he couldn't move or breathe, doctors placed him in an iron lung, a massive metal cylinder that forced air in and out of his lungs. For 70 years, he never left that machine. He became a full-fledged lawyer with it around him. He died in 2024, having spent almost his entire life inside that cylinder. Number 89. The Electric Man. From Shenyang, China, a man mistakenly discovered an unusual relationship with electricity. After a serious electrical injury that would have been lethal for most, Ma Xianggang developed a tolerance. He could make direct contact with live currents without experiencing shock. He could hold active wires and even reportedly illuminate light bulbs. But the light bulb claim has been attributed to static electricity after tests were carried out. Number 88. The Man with Two Faces. In the 19th century, an English nobleman was born with a second face on the back of his head, a parasitic twin that never fully developed. The second face couldn't eat or speak, but it could reportedly smile and cry independently. Edward Mordrake begged doctors to remove it. At the time, no surgical technique existed. He died by suicide at age 23. Number 87. The Most Tattooed Man. This man from New Zealand holds the Guinness World Record for the most tattooed person. Rather than simply covering his skin, he layered the process, first tattooing his entire body in solid black, then white designs over it, then adding color. Every surface, including eyelids, gums, and ears, was modified multiple times. The total time under the needle exceeded 1,000 hours. Number 86. The Woman Who Remembers Everything. Fewer than 100 people worldwide have hyperthymesia, the ability to recall virtually every day of one's life in extraordinary detail. Marilu Henner has it. If asked what she did on March 15, 1983, she'll immediately put down details like it was just yesterday. She describes the condition as a gift and a burden. Remembering everything means remembering painful things too. Number 85. The Human Barbie. Ever wondered what a human-sized Barbie doll would look like? This model from Odessa, Ukraine, became a huge sensation when her face began circulating on the internet in the early 2010s. Her proportions were an anomaly: wide, contoured eyes, extremely narrow waist, symmetrical features. They all appear digitally altered. She attributed her look to makeup and body conditioning rather than surgery. Number 84. The Elephant Man. Known as the Elephant Man, Joseph Merrick lived in Victorian England with severe physical deformities. Tumors grew across his body. His skull was twice normal size. His skin was covered in growths. The condition, now believed to be neurofibromatosis and Proteus syndrome, left him unable to speak clearly or sleep lying down. He spent his later years in the London hospital, receiving visits from royalty. He died in his late 20s in 1890. Number 83. The Giant Hands. Kaleem was born in Jharkhand, India, with both hands dramatically enlarged. Each hand weighed over 17 pounds and grew larger with age. By childhood, his fingers exceeded the length of most adult hands. The condition, believed to be some form of localized gigantism, was never formally diagnosed. Number 82. The Man Who Never Gets Tired. There is a difference between how this man runs and how others do. Dean Karnazes once ran 350 miles without stopping. He ran a 50-mile ultramarathon in all 50 states in 50 consecutive days. The reason is that his body doesn't produce lactate, the substance causing muscle fatigue at normal levels. Therefore, he can run for days without exhaustion. Number 81. The Girl Without a Nose. Born in Northern Ireland with complete arrhythmia, Tessa Evans grew up with the total absence of a nose, nasal cavity, and olfactory structure. The condition affects fewer than 50 documented individuals worldwide. Without a nasal passage, Tessa breathes entirely through her mouth. She eats without a sense of smell. Her parents made a decision not to conceal her condition. They raised her with openness about what made her different. Number 80. The man who ate everything. Tarare was a French soldier and performer in the 18th century. His hunger defied explanation. He could eat constantly and never stop. He once ate an entire bull. He swallowed a basket of apples whole without chewing. He attempted to eat a live cat. Military physicians investigated him. They used him as a courier, swallowing documents and recovering them undigested. Number 79. The inverted man. Claudio Vieira de Oliveira was born in Brazil with severe arthrogryposis. His spine curved so acutely that his head came to rest, facing upward, inverted relative to his body. Doctors told his family he would not survive infancy. He did. Growing up, he learned to walk using his knees and forearms. He learned to write by holding a pen with his mouth. He built a career as a motivational speaker and businessman. Number 78. The woman who hates her memory. Like Stephen Wiltshire and Marilu Henner, Jill Price has hyperthymesia. She remembers almost every day of her life. She has had this ability since age 14. But unlike the other two, she describes it purely as a burden. She hates the ability. Remembering everything means she cannot forget trauma. Number 77. The backward foot. This woman from Yunnan, China, was born with her left foot rotated 180 degrees, heel facing forward, toes pointing backward. Surgeons early in her life said walking would likely be impossible. Today she walks, runs, and works without reported pain. Even though it may look abnormal to some people, she has chosen to live with it and never undergo surgery. Number 76. The man with 3 legs. Frank Lentini was born in Italy with 3 legs, 4 feet, and 2 sets of genitalia, the result of a parasitic twin failing to separate during development. The extra leg, attached to his pelvis, had its own foot and functioning knee. He could walk, run, and swim with all 3 legs. He married, had 4 children, and lived until 1966. Number 75. The girl with 4 arms and 4 legs. Lakshmi Tatma was born with 4 arms and 4 legs. In her village, she was named after the Hindu goddess with multiple arms, but she didn't want to keep it. In the early 2000s, 30 surgeons performed a 27-hour operation to remove the limbs. Lakshmi recovered fully. She lives a normal, healthy life today. Number 74. The man with stretchable skin. Gary Turner of England holds the Guinness World Record for the most stretchable skin on a living person. He has Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, a connective tissue disorder affecting structural proteins responsible for skin elasticity. His skin can be pulled several inches, shaped, twisted, and released without tearing. It's a genetic condition affecting collagen production with no cure. Number 73. The strongest child. Born in Michigan, Liam Hoekstra was one of the strongest children ever documented. By age 5, he could perform muscle-ups, pulling his entire body weight above a bar with 0 momentum. He had myostatin deficiency, a genetic condition limiting the body's ability to regulate muscle growth. His body produced muscle tissue more efficiently than any known standard. Number 72. The Rubber Boy. Known as the Rubber Boy, Daniel Browning Smith holds multiple Guinness World Records for contortion. He can fit his entire body through an unstrung tennis racket. Like Gary Turner, he has Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. It gives his joints an abnormal range of motion. Unlike Turner, Smith's condition manifests most dramatically in skeletal mobility. He can dislocate both shoulders simultaneously on command. Number 71. The Camel Girl. Ella Harper was born in Tennessee in 1870 with a condition causing her knees to bend backward. She was forced to walk on all 4s. She was billed as the Camel Girl, a name she had no hand in choosing. She performed in the circus using her earnings to pay for her education. She retired to live a quiet life, dying in 1921. Number 70. The Tree Man. Dede Kozwara from Indonesia developed a rare immune disorder. It triggered uncontrolled growth of HPV-related wart tissue across his hands and feet. Over years, the growths thickened, fused, and hardened into dense, branching formations resembling tree bark. His hands became almost non-functional. He became known as the Tree Man. Multiple surgeries removed pounds of growths, but the underlying immune deficiency meant the tissue returned consistently. He died in 2016. Number 69. The Man Who Never Sleeps. A farmer from Vietnam has a condition that should have killed him. He hasn't slept since 1973. He has not slept at all for over 50 years. This happened after he developed a fever that year. The fever caused his body to stop producing the chemicals needed for sleep. No doctor has been able to explain it. He has lived his life working on his farm like normal. Number 68. The Boy with Glowing Eyes. Nong Yuhui was born in China with irises so pale they appeared almost colorless. What attracted scientific attention wasn't the color, but the function. Under conditions with all ambient light removed, Nong demonstrated an ability to read printed text in complete darkness. His eyes reflected light like those in a tapetum lucidum, a reflective layer found in nocturnal animals. Number 67. The Real Beast. Petrus Gonçalves was a 16th century man born with hypertrichosis, a condition causing dense hair growth across his entire body. He was given as a gift to the French royal court. He was educated and married. His children inherited the condition. His story is believed to have inspired Beauty and the Beast. Number 66. The Tallest Man Ever. Robert Wadlow was born in Illinois in 1918. He grew without interruption for his entire life due to pituitary hyperplasia. By the time he died at age 22, he had reached 8 feet 11 inches. He weighed 490 pounds. He required reinforced leg braces to walk. His shoes were size 37 de AA. Despite his burden, he toured extensively and met hundreds of thousands of people. Number 65. The Woman with Superhuman Vision. Veronika Seider, a woman from Germany, has what seems like a superpower, the ability to see objects from miles away. Her vision is estimated to be 20 times stronger than the average human eye. She can identify individual faces at distances that should be impossible. Ophthalmologists found her eyes have a higher density of photoreceptor cells than any documented human. She's never needed glasses. Number 64. The Woman with 28-foot Nails. Lee Redmond of Utah began growing her fingernails in 1979. She didn't cut them for nearly 3 decades. By the time they were measured, the combined length had reached 28 feet. The longest individual nail measured over 2 feet 11 inches. She adapted her daily routines entirely around them. In 2009, a car accident broke all 10 nails. Rather than express relief, Redmond mourned the loss publicly. Her record has never been approached. Number 63. The Man Who Carried His Twin. Sanju Bhagwan felt unwell and went for consultation. Doctors couldn't find the cause. They decided to open him up, doing surgery for what they believed was a tumor. What they found was his twin brother, a parasitic twin that had been growing inside him for over 40 years. His twin was fully formed with hair, teeth, and limbs. They removed the twin. Sanju recovered, having never known he was carrying his twin. Number 62. The Albinism Model. Diandra Forrest is an American model born with oculocutaneous albinism, a genetic condition inhibiting melanin production. For a woman of African American heritage, the visual contrast produced by albinism is particularly striking. She became one of the first women with albinism to sign with a major international agency. She uses her platform to address the social realities accompanying albinism. Number 61. The Man Who Slices Bullets. Isao Machi is a Japanese martial artist. He has developed a level of skill that transcends human capability. He can slice a speeding bullet in half. He uses his katana to cut through hard items like steel, concrete, and other materials. His reaction time is measured in milliseconds. He is the product of decades of obsessive practice. Number 60. The Iceman. Wim Hof has built a documented record of physiological feats centered on cold exposure. Scientists can't fully account for them. He has completed a marathon above the Arctic Circle in shorts and sandals. He sat submerged in ice for over 112 minutes without his core temperature dropping. A 2014 study demonstrated Hoff could voluntarily suppress his immune response. He does this through breathing control. Number 59. The woman with a 9-inch horn. Madame Dimanche was a French woman in the early 19th century. She developed a cutaneous horn on her forehead that grew to over 9 inches in length. The horn grew so long that she could no longer wear hats. She lived with it for years, earning a reputation as the woman with the horn. Number 58. The boy with 34 digits. Akshat Saxena was born in India with 34 digits, 7 fingers on each hand, 10 toes on each foot. The condition set a verified world record for the most fingers and toes ever documented on a living person. The extra digits were fully formed with bone structure and defined shape. They were later removed surgically. His record has not been equaled since. Number 57. The double-bodied man. Jean Libera was born in the 19th century with a parasitic twin attached to his body. It had a fully formed set of arms and legs protruding from his torso. The twin was not alive, but attached physically. He adapted his daily life around the extra body parts. He performed in circuses as the double-bodied man. Number 56. The lizard man. Eric Sprague, known professionally as the Lizard Man, has spent over 2 decades transforming his appearance into that of a reptile. His modifications include full-body green scale tattoos, a surgically bifurcated tongue, subdermal implants creating ridges along his forehead and brow, filed teeth shaped like fangs. He holds a degree in philosophy and has written about body modification as self-authorship. Number 55. The Blue Man. Paul Carrison was born with pale skin. In 2006, he began drinking colloidal silver, a solution containing microscopic silver particles. He was trying to treat his skin issues. His skin turned permanently blue. The condition, argyria, is irreversible. His appearance became widely known. He appeared on television multiple times. When he died in 2013, his skin was still blue. Number 54. The Mermaid Girl. Shiloh Pepin was born in Maine with cyronemelia, a condition in which the legs fuse during fetal development, producing a single lower limb. Internal complications are severe: absent or malformed kidneys, no bladder, fused or completely missing reproductive organs. Survival beyond birth is extremely rare. Shiloh survived. She underwent multiple organ transplants. She learned to swim with her fused limbs. She died in 2009 at age 10. Number 53. The Lion-Faced Man. Stefan Bobrowski, known as Lionel the Lion-Faced Man, was born in Poland in 1890 with hypertrichosis. Dense hair growth covered his entire body. He began performing as a child. He died within the profession, still with the condition. Number 52. The Girl Who Didn't Age. Brooke Greenberg's body simply did not age. By her teenage years, her physical development remained that of an infant. She weighed approximately 16 pounds. She was unable to speak. She showed no biological progression. Researchers called it Syndrome X. She died in 2013 at age 20. Number 51. The Girl with X-ray Eyes. Natasha Demkina is a Russian woman who claims to see inside the human body. She identifies illnesses by looking at people. She was called the Girl with X-ray Eyes. She appeared on television channels worldwide. Experts are divided on what exactly is happening with Natasha. She continues to work as a healer. Number 50. The Wolfman. Jesus. Aceves was born in Mexico into a family carrying a rare genetic mutation. Hypertrichosis causes uncontrolled hair growth across the face and body. The condition runs through multiple generations. In Jesus' case, dense hair covers most of his face and upper body. He performed in circuses as Wolfman. Number 49. The Giant Foot Girl. Fannie Mills was born in Ohio in the late 19th century. A condition caused her feet to grow to a massive size. She eventually wore shoes size 18, enormous for any era. She performed in P.T. Barnum's circus as the Giant Foot Girl. She married and had children. She lived a relatively normal life before dying in 1899. Number 48. The albinism twins. Lara and Mara Bawar are identical twins born in Brazil to Guinean parents. Both have albinism. The contrast between their dark African features and extremely light skin, white hair, and pale eyes caught the attention of fashion photographers. They were discovered as teenagers. They built modeling careers with international brands. Their presence has sparked broader discussions about representation and beauty. Number 47. The mutant skier. Eero Mentiranta was a Finnish cross-country skier. He won multiple Olympic medals in the 1960s. He had a genetic condition called primary familial and congenital polycythemia. His blood produced 50% more red blood cells than normal. This increased his oxygen-carrying capacity. Throughout his career, he didn't know this. Genetic testing after retirement revealed the cause. A mutation in the EPOR gene gave him a biological advantage no amount of training could match. Number 46. The Devil's Horn. Wang Kewen, a resident of China, noticed a small growth on the side of his head in his 60s. Over time, it extended outward, reaching approximately 4 inches. It curved slightly. A protrusion so striking that locals called it a devil's horn. He became the target for photographers more often than he would have liked. Number 45. The Insatiable Soldier. Charles Domery was a Polish soldier in the French army during the Revolutionary period. He had an insatiable appetite. He ate constantly. When rations ran out, he ate grass. He ate the entrails of fresh corpses on the battlefield. Physicians examined him. They found his stomach 4 times normal size. It processed food faster than any documented human. On average, he could eat 24 pounds of meat daily without gaining weight. Number 44. The Hairiest Family. The Ramos Gomez family of Mexico carries congenital generalized hypertrichosis across multiple generations. Dense hair covers their entire faces, including eyelids. Fewer than 50 families worldwide share the mutation. Rather than retreating from it, they built careers in circus performance. They turned a genetic condition into a lasting legacy. Number 43. The 40-year-old at 20. At age 10, Sarah Gertz was diagnosed with a rare skin condition called collagen deficiency. The disease was so severe that Sarah's joints and muscles became extremely weak. Her skin became dry. Wrinkles appeared on almost every part of her body. Sarah joked that by age 20, her body already looked like she was 40. By 26, it looked like she was 50. She never let it discourage her. She became a successful model and influencer. Number 42. The Most Pierced Woman. Elaine Davidson holds the Guinness World Record for most piercings on a living person. Over 11,000 across her face, ears, chest, arms, and tongue. The jewelry she wears daily weighs several pounds. She began in the late 90s and hasn't stopped since. She describes it simply as bodily autonomy rather than performance. Number 41. The Man Struck by Lightning. In 1979, 10-year-old Orlando Sorrell was struck by a baseball. He recovered. Then he discovered he could recall every single day of his life since the accident in perfect detail. Date, weather, day of the week. What he ate, his condition, acquired savant syndrome following traumatic brain injury, remains one of the rarest documented cases in neuroscience. Number 40. The Shortest Woman. Jyoti Amji was born in India in 1993 with achondroplasia, the most common form of primordial dwarfism. She stands 2 feet and 0.7 inches tall, the shortest living woman on Earth. She has appeared in international film and television productions. She consistently points out that the curiosity her size generates has very little to do with how ordinary her daily life actually is. Number 39. The Two-Headed Brothers. Born in Italy in 1617, Lazarus and Joannes Baptista Colloredo were conjoined at the sternum. 1 developed body, 2 heads. Joannes had limited mobility and could barely move his arms. They performed across Europe for decades. Their case remains one of the most thoroughly documented conjoined twin survivals in pre-modern medical history. Number 38. The hairiest girl. Supatra Sasaphan from Thailand was born with Ambrose syndrome, one of fewer than 50 confirmed cases ever recorded. Dense, continuous hair covers her face, ears, and upper body. Guinness named her the world's hairiest girl while she was still in primary school. She described being teased as more confusing than painful. She has since married and stepped away from public life. Number 37. The fake two-headed man. Pascual Pignon was a 1990s sideshow performer, famous for having two heads. He lived with this persona for years, but later, the second head was found to be a wax face attached over a large forehead tumor. After the benign growth was surgically removed in 1919, he retired from the circus and lived normally. Number 36. The widest tongue. Byron Schlenker of New York holds the Guinness World Record for the widest tongue on a living male, 3.37 inches across, wide enough to balance a soda can flat on its surface. He didn't know it was unusual until his daughter pointed it out. She was subsequently measured and found to hold the equivalent female record. Number 35. The girl with the visible heart. Versavia Borun Goncharova was born in Russia with Cantrell syndrome. Her heart protrudes visibly outside her chest cavity. Its beat is visible through her skin. Doctors gave her little chance of survival. She survived. She underwent multiple corrective surgeries. She is now a young adult, working as an artist and advocate. Number 34. The Wolf Boy. In 1867, hunters in northern India found a young boy running on all fours among wolves. Extracted and named Dana Sanichar, he ate only raw meat. He sharpened his teeth on bones. He refused human contact for the rest of his life. He never spoke a single word. He died in 1895. His case inspired Rudyard Kipling's Mowgli. Number 33. The Runt Girl. Schlitzie, born Simon Metz, had microcephaly, a condition causing significantly reduced skull and brain development. He performed across American circuses throughout the 1920s and 1930s. His childlike behavior became his stage identity. His family abandoned him. He died in poverty. His face remains one of the most recognizable in sideshow history. His story, one of its most troubling. Number 32. General Tom Thumb. Charles Sherwood Stratton, known as General Tom Thumb, was a 19th century performer with pituitary dwarfism. Discovered by P.T. Barnum at age 4, he became a global celebrity. Famous for his singing, dancing, and impressions, he performed for Queen Victoria. He amassed great wealth and transformed sideshow acts into mainstream entertainment. Number 31. The Legless Wonder. Eli Bowen was born with phocomelia. His feet attached directly to his hips. He refused to be hidden away. He transformed his body into a powerhouse. Known as the Legless Wonder, he captivated audiences worldwide with his breathtaking acrobatics. Offstage, Bowen married, raised 4 healthy sons, and lived with immense dignity. Number 30. The Four-Legged Girl. Myrtle Corbin was born in Tennessee in 1868 with dipagus, 2 separate pelvises, 4 legs. She had full voluntary control over her outer pair. She performed in P.T. Barnum's circuit as the four-legged girl from Texas. She married a physician, had 5 children, and lived until 1928. Her case remains one of the most thoroughly documented dipagus survivals. Number 29. The Man Who Never Slept. Al Herpin, an American man, claimed he hadn't slept since developing a fever in childhood. Observers documented him over extended periods. They never recorded a single sleep episode. He worked, functioned, and lived a largely unremarkable life. He died in 1947. No confirmed physiological explanation was ever produced. Number 28. The Boy Without a Jaw. Acosta. Isaiah was born in Phoenix without a jaw, no airway, no ability to eat independently, no conventional means of communication. Doctors gave his family little reason for optimism. They chose otherwise. He breathes and feeds through tubes. He communicates through sign language and text. He has become a figure of genuine inspiration. By every clinical prediction, he is not supposed to be here. Number 27. The Lobster Man. Grady Stiles Jr. was born with ectrodactyly, his fingers fused into formations closely resembling lobster claws. He performed as the Lobster Man in circuses for decades. He was also volatile, prone to violence. He eventually shot and killed his daughter's fiancé. He died in 1992. His story is a reminder that visible difference neither softens nor defines character. Number 26. The Living Skeleton. Isaac Sprague was born in Massachusetts in 1841. He appeared typical until his mid-teens. Then his body began losing mass without explanation. The mass wasting didn't stop. It followed him into adulthood. At his full adult weight, he weighed approximately 43 pounds. No diagnosis was ever confirmed. He performed as the living skeleton. He died in 1887, still weighing 43 pounds. Number 25. The tallest female basketball player. Zhao Ziyu was born in China. She grew continuously until reaching 8 feet tall. A tumor on her pituitary gland drove the growth. She became a basketball player. Guinness recognized her as one of the tallest female basketball players in history. Surgery to remove the tumor eventually stopped her growth. A champion built by a body that refused to stay ordinary. Number 24. The widest hips. Michael Ruffinelli of California holds the verified Guinness record for the widest natural hips on a living person. 99 inches in circumference. Though unconventionally large, she navigates doorways and furniture without treating them as grievances. Her health is sound. Her outlook is positive. She has little interest in being framed as someone with a problem to fix. Number 23. The Runt Girl. Minnie Woolsey was born in the 19th century with microcephaly, an abnormally small skull, and significantly reduced brain development. She performed in circus circuits as the Runt Girl, billed as a curiosity for paying audiences. She died in 1959. Number 22. The tallest woman ever. Zheng Jinlian was born in China in 1964. She grew at a rate surpassing every verified female measurement in history. By her teenage years, she stood 8 feet 1.75 inches, the tallest confirmed height ever recorded in a woman. Pituitary gigantism drove continuous skeletal growth. Her body couldn't structurally sustain it. Her spine curved severely. Her mobility deteriorated. She died at age 17. Number 21. The tallest living man. Sultan Kosin was born in Turkey in 1982. He holds the Guinness World Record for the tallest living man, 8 feet, 2.8 inches. A pituitary tumor drove his continuous growth. Surgical removal in 2010 finally stopped it. He walks with crutches. He has spent his entire life navigating a world built for people roughly 3 feet shorter. Number 20. The Synthol Arms. Romario dos Santos Alves from Brazil began injecting synthol into his arms in his early 20s, an oil-based muscle inflation substance. He continued despite warning signs. His arms painfully swelled to a medically dangerous size. He stopped just in time to avoid amputation. He has since spoken openly about body dysmorphia and how attention can make destructive behavior feel rational. Number 19. The shortest man ever. Chandra Bahadur. Dongi from Nepal stood 1 foot 9.5 inches tall. To date, he is the shortest man ever formally documented. He was 72 years old when Guinness measured him. He had lived his entire life with primordial dwarfism in a remote village. International attention found him in 2012. He traveled the world and became a celebrity in Nepal. He died in 2015. Number 18. The longest mustache. Ram Singh. Chauhan of Rajasthan began growing his mustache in 1988. He has never trimmed it. Guinness verified it at 18 feet 6 inches, the longest on a living person. Daily maintenance takes several hours of oiling, combing, and careful wrapping. In Rajasthan, where elaborate mustaches carry deep cultural weight, this facial hair has become a monument. Number 17. the most pierced man. Rolf Buchholz holds the Guinness record for the most piercings on a living male, over 450 across his face, ears, and body, alongside extensive tattoo coverage. In his day-to-day dealings, he works as a businessman. He heads a family of his own. Number 16. The man who survived an iron rod through his head. In September 1848, an explosion sent a tamping iron through Phineas Gage's left cheek, behind his eye, through the front of his brain, out the top of his skull. He was conscious within minutes. He walked into the doctor's office under his own power. He survived 12 more years. What changed permanently was his personality. Impulsive, unpredictable, unrecognizable. His case became the first clinical evidence that the frontal lobe governs personality. His skull and the iron are still on display at Harvard Medical School. Number 15. The human pincushion. Edward H. Gibson was a stage performer in Prague, known as the human pincushion. In 1932, researcher George Dearborn published the first comprehensive medical case study on him. Throughout his life, Gibson survived a hatchet lodged in his skull, a gunshot wound to his finger, a severely fractured nose, severe burns. He never showed or vocalized pain. For his stage act, he invited audience members to drive large needles through his flesh. Number 14. The tallest living woman. Rumeysa Gelgi was born in Turkey in the year 2000 with Weaver syndrome, a rare overgrowth condition producing accelerated skeletal development. She stands 7 feet 0.7 inches. She is currently the tallest living woman on Earth. She uses a wheelchair for longer distances. She holds multiple Guinness records. Number 13. The man who became Superman. Herbert Chavez from the Philippines spent over 20 years transforming himself into Superman. He restructured his nose, jaw, cheekbones, and chin. He lightened his skin. He sculpted his physique through more than 20 separate procedures. He also holds the Guinness record for the largest Superman memorabilia collection. He clarified that he never wanted to be Superman. He simply wanted to be himself. This was what that looked like in his head. He died in 2024 at age 55. Number 12. The girl who feels no pain. Ashlyn Blocker was born in Georgia with congenital insensitivity to pain, caused by mutations in the NTRK1 gene, the pathway responsible for transmitting pain signals through the peripheral nervous system. She feels nothing. As an infant, she didn't cry during injections or respond to injuries. The danger is constant and invisible. Infections, fractures, and internal damage accumulate without any internal alarm. Number 11. The one-legged wrestling champion. Born with only one leg, Anthony Robles refused to use a prosthetic while competing. He became a legend in amateur wrestling. He won the 2011 NCAA Division I National Championship for Arizona State University. He finished that season undefeated at 36-0. He received the NCAA Tournament's Outstanding Wrestler Award. He became a motivational speaker. His story became the biographical sports drama movie, Unstoppable. Number 10. The Giraffe Woman. Sydney Smith of Los Angeles spent years adding brass neck rings. In the tradition of the Kayan Lahui tribe of Myanmar, she pushed her clavicle and upper ribs downward. She created the appearance of an elongated neck. She earned the nickname Giraffe Woman. She removed the rings in 2017. The physical toll had become unsustainable. Her muscles had weakened considerably. Readjusting to life without the rings took months. Number 9. The woman with the unusual eyes. Maria Oz is a Ukrainian artist. Her photographs circulated widely in the mid-2010s. Unusually large eyes. An iris to sclera ratio well outside typical human range. When asked, she attributes her appearance to natural genetics. She has offered little else publicly. Number 8. The human cartoon. Pixie Fox was born in Sweden. She worked as an electrician before beginning one of the most extensive voluntary body modification journeys ever documented. She had 6 ribs surgically removed to achieve an extreme hourglass figure, alongside breast augmentations, buttock implants, and numerous other procedures. Her goal was to resemble a living cartoon character. The total cost ran into hundreds of thousands of dollars. She has spoken about every procedure with full transparency. She has never described any of it as a mistake. Number 7. The Leopard Man. Tom Leopard, a former British soldier, spent over 5,000 pounds covering his entire body in leopard spot tattoos. He legally changed his name to Match. He chose to live alone on the Isle of Skye, in a remote cottage without electricity or running water, deliberately apart from a society whose judgment he didn't want. He moved into a care home in his later years. When asked about the decision, he speaks of fulfillment and happiness. Number 6. The Stalking Cat. Dennis Avner was a systems analyst. Beginning in 1974, he spent decades surgically altering his appearance to resemble a tiger. He legally changed his name to Stalking Cat. The modifications were extensive: subdermal implants, surgical bifurcation of the upper lip, pointed teeth, extensive facial tattooing. He lived fully within his feline identity. He died in 2012. Number 5. The Human Popeye. Jeff Dabe was born in 1963 with one arm dramatically larger than the other, a condition that defied consistent diagnosis despite multiple medical evaluations. He was nicknamed the Human Popeye. Rather than withdrawing, he trained competitively. He built a career in professional arm wrestling. His enlarged arm became a structural advantage. He accepted the condition as a defining part of who he is. Number 4. The Man Who Ate an Airplane. Michel Lotito was born in Grenoble, France in 1950. He had a stomach lining roughly twice the normal thickness. With the digestive acids unusually concentrated, he could consume glass, metal, and rubber without perforating his gastrointestinal tract. His most documented achievement? Consuming a Cessna 150 airplane over approximately 2 years. The metal was cut into small pieces and swallowed incrementally. He ate an estimated 9 tons of metal across his career. He died in 2007, and strangely, eating bananas and hard-boiled eggs made him ill. Number 3. The Bearded Woman. Dakota Cook is a 24-year-old woman who began growing a full beard, the kind typically associated with adult men. She found no medical explanation for why, and she tried shaving multiple times, but it returned thicker within days. After years of treatments that produced no results, she accepted it. She has since embraced it openly. Number 2. The Woman with Metal Wires. Nuraita was a school teacher from East Kalimantan, Indonesia. Thin, rust-colored wire-like filaments began emerging from her chest and abdomen. She struggled to get them off, but they would just grow back. Whenever they regrew, they brought back huge amounts of pain. Her case has never been formally categorized, and due to the stigma, she eventually withdrew from public life. Number 1. The Wrestler Without Legs. Zion Clark was born with caudal regression syndrome, a condition that stops the lower spinal cord and body from developing. He has no legs, was placed in foster care as an infant, and grew up without his biological parents. From a young age, he decided he wanted to be an athlete. He chased that dream with tunnel vision. Today, he is a wrestler with a Guinness World Record, and he is the face of this list because he proves that no condition defines who you are. Thanks for watching. Now check out the videos popping up on screen for more unbelievable stories.